Tuff, Tiger Talk, Flash Report.
All right, shout out to the Tough Tiger Talk fan, Big Q, representing the LSU fighting family, man. We up in this thing for another weekly episode of Tough Tiger Talk, man. A lot of stuff passed this past weekend in recruiting. LSU had a ton of talent in Death Valley, man. A lot of really good news came out of that thing. We kind of been following what's happening with the wide receiver out of Brother Martin in New Orleans, a couple of wide receivers, as well as Xavier Saab, and a few just like, man, listen, Eastern Raw, man, listen, come on home to LSU, man. It's getting close. But nonetheless, talk about the things that actually occurred in Death Valley and the moves that's being made in the 2027 recruiting cycle. LSU is kicking some tail, man. We didn't get everybody we wanted, but we did make some moves, man. And here's some of them right here. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the share button. Hype the stream. Tough Tiger Talk is in the building. LSU football gets commitment from Georgia pass rusher after the 5-star flips the pledge. Now, we're going after somebody, man, but, ultimately it didn't work out. But then we got another guy. LSU football had a verbal commitment from edge rusher KJ Green to its 2027 freshman class on Sunday. Green's a 4-star recruit from Georgia and one of the 75th best players in his class, according to 24/7 Sports composite rankings. He told rivals that he was choosing the Tigers over Georgia, South Carolina, and Oregon. LSU now has 5 recruits committed to its 27 freshman class. 3 of them, including Green, are top 100 prospects. The Tigers also have verbal pledges from 5-star tight end Ahmad Hudson and 4-star quarterback Peyton Houston, the 2 North Louisiana products. Now, Green is now the group's top out-of-state player. LSU also lost the commitment on Thursday when 5-star edge rusher Jaden Bryant, the top player in South Carolina and the nation's second-best defensive end, flipped his verbal pledge to Miami. Now, the Tigers moved quickly, though, to replace him with another high-profile target. 6'4", 230-pound rising senior is the nation's 10th best edge rusher, according to 24/7 Sports Composite. He and the rest of his class can't sign with programs of choice until December. So this is really a really good commitment from LSU. Losing out on 1 5-star and getting a 4-star just shows you they're on top of the game, man, and competing. And it just keeps going on and on and on and on. And they just keep making really solid moves like this one. Shout out to Tiger Bait. They talk about the cornerback Markez Davis commits to LSU. Lane Kiffin and LSU coaching staff has added another top Louisiana prospect to the 2027 recruiting class. Lane Kiffin can't stop, won't stop. He and LSU's coaching staff has added another top Louisiana prospect to their 2027 recruiting class, cornerback Markez Davis of Opelousas. Northwest has announced his commitment to the Tigers. He's 6'3", 180-pound, told Tiger Bait just days ago that he never imagined receiving a scholarship to play for LSU. Coach Corey Raymond, he's a good coach and a good person. Davis told Tiger Bait he won't degrade us. He's just a good person, and that really stood out to me. Davis said LSU fulfilled a childhood goal of his. That's just a dream come true. As a kid growing up in Louisiana, there's always somebody dreaming of going to LSU and playing on the next level. Having that offer is a big chip on my shoulder. His official visit to LSU was a week ago and could have not gone any better. The visit went well. I liked everything about it. The people over there make it feel like home. I'm from Opelousas, and they treat you like you're one of them already. I just had a great time over there. So Davis highlighted the unity and the shared purpose he sensed throughout the program. LSU now has 7 commitments of its 2027 class. So this is really another solid signing by Lane Kiffin, Coach Corey Raymond, and LSU as they continue to turn it on. And this big recruiting cycle that we were able to add. Also, as we keep the good news coming, shout out to Tiger Rag. Once again, they talk about and report on LSU football adds 3-star running back as class rises to 6 commitments from number 158 ranked player. LSU football coach Lane Kiffin class got his second commitment over the weekend on Sunday with the addition of 3-star running back Brennen Lacey of Frisco High in Frisco, Texas. Now, Lacey's 5'11", 190 pounds, is the 31st back in the nation, according to 24/7 Sports, and the number 61st player in Texas. The composite rankings have Lacey as the number 612th prospect in the country, number 42 running back, and the number 87th player in his state. Earlier Sunday, Kiffin gained a commitment from the number 2 edge rusher in KJ Green, 6'4", 230 from Stone Mountain. LSU has 6 commitments now toward the 27 class, which 24/7 Sports has ranked as the 51st in the nation. The first signing period for that class will be December 3rd through 5th, with the second signing window again in February 4th. Lacey's scheduled to visit with Miami this weekend. He also has been recruited by Arkansas, Baylor, Florida, UCLA, Louisville, Memphis, and UTEP, to say the least. All right, more recruiting news. Y'all hit that like button as we keep pressing this thing. 4-star wide receiver prospect has chosen LSU football over Ole Miss, Notre Dame, and Auburn. Shout out to NOLA.com on the scoop. It landed another commitment in its 24 hours on Monday, adding 4-star wide receiver Cade Cooper to its 27 class. He announced on social media Cooper is the number 37 wide receiver in the nation and the top 300 player in the country, according to 24/7 Sports Composite. He attends Malvern Prep in Pennsylvania and is the number 10th player in the state. He also garnered interest from multiple major programs, including Auburn, Penn State, Notre Dame, and Ole Miss. Cooper is the 8th player to commit to LSU's 2027 class, joining 5-star tight end Ahmad Hudson, 4-star quarterback Peyton Houston, among others. He's the 3rd wide receiver LSU has added to its class, including 4-star recruits Amari Stevens and Braylon Calais. Prior to Cooper's pledge, LSU had added commitments from 4-star edge rusher KJ Green, 3-star running back Brennen Lacey, and 3-star cornerback Markez Davis on Sunday. So the Tigers just keep it moving and grooving. And of course, what's next? After Tigers did all that phenomenal work, what's next? Shout out to LSU on Sports Illustrated. They recap LSU's big recruiting weekend and who could be next for the Tigers. LSU football had a phenomenal 2-day stretch of recruiting. The train looks to keep rolling full speed. Here we go. All right, so LSU had a dreamlike past 2 days, one of the biggest weekends of the official visits. Lane Kiffin and staff recruiting talents just don't stop with the transfer portal. The Tigers have now started to pull up their 27 class, which has been headlined by 4-star quarterback Peyton Houston, 5-star tight end dual sport athlete Ahmad Hudson. LSU's also forced on flipping some of the top commitments for the other schools. Needless to say, Kiffin and company are coming for the top recruits no matter who is in their way. So who has picked LSU so far? We're going to do a recap of all the stuff we just talked about. LSU added 4 commitments in the last 2 days. 5-star edge rusher KJ Green, 3-star running back Brennen Lacey, 3-star athlete Markez Davis, and 4-star wide receiver Cade Cooper. Green is LSU's top recruit in the class and is rated the number 8th player in the nation by 24/7 Sports and the second best edge. He's also already a collegiate level size, standing 6'4" and weighing 230, and he still has another year to physically develop before getting to campus. He's elite in his explosion off the line and is a nightmare for offensive lineman. Green recorded an astonishing 40 tackles for a loss, and 18 sacks during his junior year of high school. Physical makeup can see him making an impact from day one on campus. The 3 starters that LSU are stars that they added also are going to be key additions for the Tigers. Lacey's LSU's first running back addition in the class and slots in at the 31st at his position. He also received offers from schools such as Florida, Arkansas, Miami, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. He's currently has an official visit scheduled at Miami on Friday. He, like other elite players LSU added recently, also competes in track and field in high school. His speed is what led him his rushing for 9.5 yards per carry as a junior. But Davis is a native of Opelousas. He's a true athlete. Like his recruiting position states, he plays wide receiver and cornerback, competes in track and field. He also scored over 1,000 points in this 25-26 basketball season. He earned LSU Football Coaches Association 3A All-State honorable mention at the wide receiver position last year. Now, Cooper is a tall wide receiver standing at 6'4", almost 195 pounds. He also received offers from many ACC schools, but also SEC schools like Ole Miss and Auburn. Now, 24/7 Sports has him tabbed as the 79th ranked wide receiver, while Rivals has him as the 52nd at that spot. So, who could be next for LSU going forward? Now, we picked up all these people for the Tigers going forward. Who is next for us to continue building forward? LSU is still looking to flip one of the top receivers in the 27 class, Easton Royal. We talked about Easton Royal. The New Orleans native is currently committed to Texas, but took an official visit to LSU on May the 29th and was joined by LSU signees Lamar Brown and Deuce Gerald's. It was amazing, Royal told Fox 8 New Orleans. It made me want to suit up right there in a moment and run into Death Valley. It does seem like Royal is using LSU for leverage to get a better NIL package from Texas, but the Tigers still stand a chance with the 5-star wide receiver. The top defensive lineman in the country, Jalen Brewster, was also at LSU on May the 29th, despite being committed to Texas Tech. He doesn't seem as likely as a Royal to flip, but there's still a decent possibility that the Tigers can get him to come to the boot. LSU also looks to flip Georgia commitment Kelsey Adams, who's a 4-star offensive tackle, who's received 2 crystal balls to LSU from the 24/7 Sports. Another offensive lineman has received the crystal ball to LSU is Terrence Smith, who remains uncommitted out of the 27 class. He's 6'7" and could be a big addition for the Tigers. So this is some of the recruits that LSU is still looking at going forward. Now, Easton Royal from Brother Martin out of New Orleans is a very big one for the Tigers, because if they can land him, that will be big. But it's he did cancel some recruitment on a few people, but it's just looking at him and understanding this could be big for LSU if they were to get Easton to come in. Like I said, he's already landing or is predicted to end up being with Texas. Well, not being with Texas, but he committed to them. But LSU is really making a push to see it, and that's Lane Kiffin really trying to get at him to kind of get him, to come on over, because you got Xavier Sobbs as well, who's from up north, who's another guy that LSU is pushing to get. So if we don't get one of them, and I really would hope that we get Easton Royal, we'd love to see him come to LSU. We'll see how it goes. The other young fellow they pushing at, Jalen Brewster, 6'3", 300-pound defensive lineman there. He's committed to Texas Tech. Tigers looking for some defensive help, looking to try to flip this 5-star player. So a couple of these guys, like Easton's a 5-star guy. You got Jalen Brewster, who's another 5-star guy. LSU is doing all they can to see if they can turn these guys over. And like I said, things will get better for LSU in recruiting as they move forward, if they start winning some games and putting some stuff together. Here's Kelsey Adams, the 6'5", 320-pound offensive tackle, who's committed to the Georgia Bulldogs, but LSU's looking to try to flip him and bring him back to the boot. A lot of people believe that they could be in play for this guy. So you never can tell when Lane Kiffin is concerned. And of course, we know Terrence Smith is another player that they're looking at to try to bring on over to LSU. This is another big guy, about 6'7", almost 300 pounds, from Landale, Pennsylvania. He is right now committed to, I want to say they got him, Rutgers and Auburn as the top selections for him. But LSU, anytime, like I said, we could possibly be in play for some of these guys. So a lot of these guys, he's a 4-star guy. We got a couple of 4-star guys that we're looking at. But at the end of the day, man, listen, if we could flip a few of these 5s and these 4s and bring them on over, it's going to be interesting for LSU going forward, man, to be quite honest with you. But let me get it set up for you guys. Let me see if I can get the team ranking so I can show you where LSU stands in the Southwest in terms of their recruits. Let me get a completed list, because we talked about it on the broadcast. See if I can put up an actual list of these guys so y'all can see the commitments for LSU and why they won big this weekend. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a great LSU winning weekend. They got some great recruits that they added to building the team up, man. And I just think it's phenomenal. Here it is right here. LSU football recruits right here. As you can see, this is the 2027 class. It's ranked 8th in the SEC, got a class score of 89.4 right there, and a national ranking of 22nd. So this will improve as we get beyond our next season. By the time we get to next December, this is going to be a top 5, top 10 class in terms of what they got. So you can see right here at the top of it, the 5-star recruit, Ahmad Hudson, 6'6", 245 at the tight end position. He is there with them. KJ Green, the other guy we just added from Stone Mountain. You see Peyton Houston, Brennen Calais, Amari Stevens, the wide receiver, Cade Cooper, the wide receiver, running back Brennen Lacey, and Markez Davis, the cornerback. He's the first. So they're filling out the class and continue to do some stuff. So like I said, there's still a lot of work to be done here for the Tigers going forward. But, man, these are the commitments we currently have, man. And we'll just keep on going on to see what's going on. We'll see what the offers look like for them as well, because they got a bunch of offers out. But, to see, here's a few of them right here, fam. Jalen Brewster, we talked about him. Maxwell Hiller, who's an inside, he's a guard that currently is picking Florida right now. You see David Jacobs. These are some of the offers LSU has out for these remaining players. David Jacobs, the edge rusher, right there is a 5-star guy lining up for Ohio State. Mark Matthews, a tackle from out of Florida, is lined up with Texas A&M. You see Monsoon Sales, the wide receiver right there. You can see, they're showing their status, all this kind of stuff. But these are some of the offers they put out. Eastern Royal is there. You can see the Monsoon Sales lined up for what could be Indiana. Joshua Dobson, who's a cornerback, is potentially lined up for Texas A&M. Kamari Dorsey is there as well, Texas A&M. Elijah Haven. And the LSU, and this was a question a lot of people asked, because Elijah Havens is from Baton Rouge, and LSU's people like, why don't we go after Elijah Havens? I don't think since LSU tried to recruit him, I think some people said that he's out. I don't think he wants to go to LSU. He's committed to Alabama, to the Crimson Tide. And I just, and LSU tried to go after Elijah Havens. When Lane Kiffin moved in, there was smoke that he was supposed to be going after him. I think he then shifted because LSU is he wasn't even concerned. I think he's he's committed to Alabama. And I think that's where he'll be locked in. We just got to beat the shit out of him every time we see him. That's the bottom line when we play him, man. That's what you do when players pick other teams outside LSU. When we match up, we just hammer the piss out you and make you understand it was a bad decision. You still stayed home. So that's all I got for you, because I know they tried to go at Elijah Havens. It's just one of the situations that he just wasn't interested, with Brian Kelly. Maybe Brian Kelly spoiled it and he decided to go in a different direction. But nonetheless, I still like some of the people that they picked up. And you can see some of these other guys here. Look at Xavier Saab right there. There's another guy, Oregon and Rutgers, for his look that they were looking at trying to land him. So there's still work to be done. There's Jaden Bryant, who was LSU. He flipped to Miami. So there were guys there, man. So at the end of the day, man, it is what it is and how it is in LSU land. So our commitments, the class is currently ranked 22nd in the nation, and we will continue to add to it. But it was a good football recruiting weekend for LSU. Building forward as we get ready to keep moving, man. College football season to be here in a little bit. We're already in June. We got July. Then August hits. You start seeing the practices line up. And before long, September will be around, and we'll be right back to football season. It's going to happen pretty fast. So with that being said, that's all I got for y'all in this broadcast. Please do me a service by hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to hype the stream LSU, Tuff Tiger Talk, keeping it real about our team. Y'all hit the chat and tell me what y'all thought about some of the topics and the recruits that we covered in this broadcast. Man, it's an interesting time for LSU, isn't it? You just got to keep recruiting, man, and keep winning. That's the important. LSU's of a golden era, man, and it's going to look good in the SEC, man. So with that being said, I'm out. I'll let you next time.
Tiger Talk channel and stay up to date for all things LSU football.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with thewhodatdaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit thewhodatdaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.